one day there'll be marble busts in like museums, and people will walk up to it and it'll be like Filius Michilius and like 2020 or whatever, and no one will know. He'll be like, this guy was a great ruler. No, eventually history will be rewritten and he will be the great ruler of our time.
Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Tom from UDS with another edition of UDS Interviews, our series where I chat to people a lot cooler than myself in this wonderful land of sort of lockdown, or in this case, Eastenders. But anyway, my guest this week is an alternative rock band who combine the very best of 70s and 90s rock with a contemporary twist to create a fresh and vital sound all of their own. Here to talk about their latest single dropping later this month, it is my pleasure to introduce Jamie Bill and Tom Corey from arguably the most handsomest band performing today, Novatines. You don't get that.
He is in the eye of the beholder, man. Like,
I speak no lie. But I prefix this with saying you don't get those kinds of intros with Kerrang. But
oh man, no.
anyway, how are you guys doing in these strange Eastendery times that we live in?
It's great, man. Like, it's being on lockdown, you know, being barred from every pub. It's fantastic, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Christmas episode of 2020 because we all know how that goes in EastEnders.
Who's going to die? That's the question.
The Vic's definitely burning down again.
Swear to God, we don't need the Vic burning down again.
Australia's already burned down once. We can't have the Vic. That'd be too much to handle within 12 calendar months.
Too much, man. It's too much.
That will be the final piece.
That's it. That's just the year written off completely then. But
it was good up until that point. It was going so well.
It jumped the shark after that. For the unfortunate few that may not have heard of you guys yet, could you quickly please introduce Novatines?
So we're a four-piece rock band from Bath and Bristol, and we are very loud.
Very cool. Best part of the country, I might add as well. I love Bath and Bristol. I try and go there at least 2 or 3 times a year, except this year. But no, I love those digs. But in the effort of getting to know each other just a little bit better, because of course we're all friends here. We always meet up at the Old Vic for a pint every now and then. So I have to ask the hard-hitting questions before I get barred from my pub. And that is, if you guys were a type of sandwich, what kind of sandwich would you say best represents you as a person?
Oh, damn. PB&J, man.
A classic.
That is a classic.
No. Bit of sweet, bit of salty. You know. I'm not going to explain why.
Very good. What about you, Tom?
I might just go for like a classic cheese toasty.
Easy to do, hard to master.
Crispy on the outside.
Do you keep it just cheese, or do you have any sort of your own flair on it, like a lot of people do?
You ever go an onion?
You could chuck some red onions in or something. That's always good.
That's good.
Butter the outside, and then
that's decadent.
Golden brown.
You sound delicious. Delicious.
Nice.
You know, some people do cheese toasties with peanut butter and jam. That's the thing.
I'm not sure about that.
There are crazy people in the world. Some people listen to Coldplay, man. So you know,
that's true.
We live in a crazy place.
We deserve everything we get this year. But in better news, your new single "Honey" is out in a couple of weeks. I believe it's dropping September 30th. I want to say.
That's the one.
That's the one. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. What can people expect from the single?
Noisy rock and roll. It's a short and sweet track. It's very loud. It was recorded live in Real World Studios. Tom, do you have any more?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess it would be like getting drop kicked in the face by Phil Mitchell. That's
basically that.
It's that in the form of a song.
It's very pertinent. Hence why we've all decided to go with the Eastenders themed backgrounds. No other reason. It's all relevant.
We've actually, this is a funny thing. So like Honey as a song, I think we probably had it for a year or two, maybe about that time. And we've always kind of talked about what we'd like to do for a music video for it. And this is no word of a lie. So we thought that it would be really good to have Steve McFadden, who plays Phil Mitchell, in the music video, just trashing up like a china shop or something, like a bull in the china shop. So we contacted his agent, and his agent actually got back to us and was like, unfortunately, Steve cannot take part in the music video because he has pre-existing commitments with the BBC.
Is in his contract.
Is it ITV? Whatever Eastenders is on, one of them.
Oh, he's just one of those Hollywood types now. He hasn't got any time for the real artists. It's just
too big.
There's got to be enough scenes of Phil smashing things up that we could just compile it ourselves, turn into a video.
Could you not just get a lookalike?
Phil's best bits.
Could you not just get a really crap lookalike?
Plenty of Phil Mitchell lookalikes down just this end.
The first bald person you find. Oh my God! You could all dress up as Phil Mitchell.
We should all shave. Go for the full shave.
That's it.
And then
put on
get really drunk.
Put on a couple of stone, and just talk in a proper Cockney accent. Easy peasy.
I might go as Grant though. I mean, Grant's kind of got a bit of cheekiness by him. Do you know what I mean? Like
he does. I mean,
I feel like if you have too many Phils, you can have too much of a good thing. Whereas Grant, on the other hand, you can have several Grants. You can have a Grant for every day of the week. It'll be fine.
A Grant a day keeps the doctor away, keeps the sanity away. But this is the first. I believe this is your first release since your EP "Wasted Youth" back here earlier in the year. Yeah. And I know you had quite a busy summer plan before the world kind of exploded. So have you been spending a lot of lockdown sort of writing to make up for that?
Yeah, it's been a really productive time. I feel obviously everyone's got different opinions about lockdown, and some people went out of their mind and hated it. Quite enjoyed it in a weird way.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it sucks not being able to do gigs and stuff, but in terms of just writing and I feel like we're developing our sounds with a lot of the newer stuff, which most of these songs have come out of lockdown. The sound is developing in a way which is really exciting me. Every band has Mm-hmm. We made it work, and it was quite handy that everyone can record. I mean, Cal, drummer, he's got an electric drum kit, which it does the job, and as long as we have that, we could kind of just be as creative as we can at home, really.
So would you say there's another EP or an extended body of work coming up sooner rather than later?
There's something coming. I wouldn't like to put a timeline on when, because obviously it's so hard to do any of that nowadays. But whatever's coming is good stuff. I'm really excited about it.
Very cool, very cool. But before all lockdown and everything like that, you'd already racked up quite a few tours and shows under your belt, including, I believe, a tour in Germany as well. So have you got any crazy or funny tour stories that you can share legally with the world?
Legally?
Or illegally?
Oh, man.
We ain't one to judge.
They're always a bit crazy. Like tours are a strange kind of thing because you almost die daily. So you're lost every day as well. You're in cities when you don't know the language. It just adds to an extra. I think
fun.
I remember we drove home, and I think we drove from Munich to Bath in a day. That was the thing.
Wow.
Not necessarily a funny story, but just
that's intense.
It was about 24 hours. Oh, and we ran out of fuel when we got to the ferry port. The thing was saying 0 miles, and then we accidentally drove into the lorry bit and had to divert all the way around back onto the main road.
It was pretty.
And we were already half asleep at that point.
I just remember as soon as I think we coasted the entire way to the petrol station, and it wasn't on the German tour. This was on the last support tour we did in the UK. It was sweet, and we were doing a show in London, and it was packed. I think it was sold out. It was in Islington. I think it was it Islington Assembly?
That was the one. Yeah, it was a big hall.
Fully sold out. And we had some van problems And the night before at a show we did in Birmingham, and Tom Turner, who bass player, he's also the driver. It's his van, so he drives a lot of the way. And he got it fixed in the morning, and we had to wait to the garage to actually get the thing fixed. And we left, and it broke down halfway through the journey. We managed to get started again, and it got to a point where it was like, we need petrol. And we stopped at a petrol station. It broke down again. So us and this other dude who, just happened to be there, started the whole thing. But we was running so late for this gig. We got to the venue, we loaded up as quick as we can. And I think we played within a minute of being on stage, just a line check. And that was tense. That was like, we were very, very, very close to basically losing the slot of a packed out London show, which are, just a great time all the time.
Yeah. Shout out to Glyn from the AA.
Big up.
Your boy Glyn.
We should have got him on the background.
Yeah.
No, we should have got him in the whole interview, just sort of like pitching in on some van details.
Welcome to Van Talk.
He's been all over it.
Oh, you should have definitely got him up on stage at some point.
He did actually. We gave him the CD, and we had a message from him a few days later saying he loved it.
Oh, how sweet! Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome.
He was a dude.
We made a fan for life.
That's a fan with a van.
Fan with a van.
That's terrible. I'm so sorry. But anyway,
but that's just Glyn.
That's just
Glyn.
Just Glyn. That's the name of his sitcom.
Just Glyn.
Just Glyn. Anyway, speaking of sitcoms, we don't just talk about music here at UDS, we talk about the breadth of pop culture. We talk movies, sitcoms, Eastenders, video games, everything and more. So with that in mind, if you could have one of your songs featured in anything at all, what would it be?
Oh, damn. Do you know what? It wouldn't be suitable, but like I'm absolutely obsessed with Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like I watch it every day, and I have done for 5 years. And I would love that just out of pure fandom. That would be my choice.
Very cool. Very good. What about you, Tom? What would you like a Novatines track in?
We're back.
Eastenders.
There we go. Absolutely. It always comes back round to Eastenders. So what particular, is there a particular scene or a particular character that you want your song featured in with Eastenders?
Oof.
I mean, Phil Mitchell is the obvious one, but it doesn't have to be Phil Mitchell.
He's the classic.
He is the classic.
I feel like one of our softer numbers could go well with the bit where, and Ian Beale's saying he's got nothing left, and it's like a famous meme. And he's like, if we could have some emotional soundtrack to that, that would be the one.
I can dig it.
I'm going for like Medicine, like just that pounding bass line whilst Doc Cotton's smashing out some ironing. Like full, like she's just fucking going for it. She's burning the shit out of it. She's using the same iron that Little Mo used to slam her husband in. Do you know what I mean? It's like we're going. It's dark. We're going dark.
Wow,
an Easter egg.
Yeah, this is a Christmas special if I've ever heard of one.
Oh man, definitely, 100%. Doc Cotton kills everyone.
And you can just see in the background out the window the Vic is burning down.
And it's Doc Cotton gone postal, just burned down the entire pub.
It sounds like
Doc
a Jim will
burns
paint
down the Vic with her iron.
It sounds like a Jim will paint it.
It does sound like a Jim will paint it.
It's right into him.
It's not Albert Square, it's Albert Scare. God, I'm terrible at this kind of shtick. But anyway, what does other than the new track, what does the rest of 2020 have in store for you guys?
It's just plenty of writing, to be honest with you. There's only so much. I mean, we played a gig the other day for the first time in February, which was cool. It was kind of weird because obviously everyone's sat down and sit down gigs are just interesting, aren't they? Really. But you know what? It's the way it's got to be right now, and it was just great to be up on stage and playing Noise. But I think for now we're just writing and getting better. Really, that we kind of see this year as a year for development and a year to we don't have to run through the set every single practice before the next tour, the next gig. So we can work on a brand new song every single practice, and that's what we're doing right now.
Hopefully later in the year we might be able to get into the studio again as well and record some new stuff, depending on how everything pans out. But think some places are starting to open up again. So
I can see 2021 being the year where all of the core music comes out, because everyone can only write at the moment. So there's going to be, I can imagine there's going to be some absolutely huge releases next year, particularly from Novatines. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what you've got in the pipeline very soon. But as we meander through Albert Square to the end of the interview, the last question that we always traditionally end with is, we are Upside Down Shark. And don't ask me why we're Upside Down Shark. It's a name we thought up like 3 years ago, and we're in way too deep to change it now. Like a shark.
You've got to stick with it, man. You've got to stick with it.
Absolutely. But with that in mind, guys, what are your favourite sharks? And they can be real, they can be fictional, they can be something from... Straight away.
Yeah, I was going to go hammerhead as well.
I mean, it's a tool and a shark.
They just look ridiculous. So
I actually
love it.
My girlfriend is a tattoo artist, and I genuinely have spoken to her about her tattooing a hammerhead shark on the leg. So it's like it goes way back. Me and hammerheads, we go way back.
Tight. Like, you're like this close. You're the one on top. The shark's underneath. but yeah, I mean
that's the power bottom.
As all sharks are, but anyway, I mean, it's our logo, so I can't complain. Two stellar choices. But I pulled a bamboozle on you, because that's not the last question. The last question really is, where can people find you online?
Everywhere.
That's the answer I was hoping.
We're on all the classics.
All of the usual places.
The Instagram, the Facebook, the Twitter. We're on the iTunes and the Spotify.
All them places.
We're also on the physical copies, if you like.
Of course.
Yeah, you can find on our website. We've got a store if you want to get yourself a T-shirt or anything. Bundles.
I've seen the one. I've seen the Lips T-shirt. That's hella rad. I need to pick up one of them. It's good design. But guys, thank you so much for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you down the Old Vic.
Mate, anytime. Yeah. Good to grab a pint, man. Good to grab a pint.
Fingers crossed, when the world is a little bit less on fire, we can meet up in person and do this with a real pint in hand, because that sounds real nice.
Yeah, that's the dream.
That's it.
In East London. Gotta be East London.
Of course. Where else? Up the Abbas and all the other East London things people say. But anyway.
We can hire Steve McFadden for a private event, and then he turns up and it's just us sat there with a beer.
We just ambush him.
£10,000.
It's a roast. We roast him. It's just roasting of Steve McFadden. We film it. No one watches it. It gets banned. We get sued. Awesome.
I really hope he finds this interview at some point, on the off chance. I don't even know if he's discovered the internet yet. He seems like the sort of person that someone's described the internet to him, and he's just like, it's not for me.
I reckon
how he looks in my background is his face when someone told him what Facebook was.
You what?
If he sees this, we will definitely get a cease and desist, don't we?
This will get taken down immediately. So enjoy it while you can. If you found this video. But for anyone who has managed to find this before it gets taken down by Phil Mitchell, make sure to pick up Honey on September 30th, wherever you listen to good music. We'll put a link to everything you need to know in the description below, all the Facebook, all the Instagram, not LimeWire. Don't use LimeWire. That'll infect your computer completely. But anyway, hit subscribe for all sorts of
old school, man. I like that. That's a nice reference.
Hell yeah.
We should stick our music on LimeWire.
We only release through LimeWire.
If it even still exists.
I'm going to look up to see if LimeWire exists and download linkinparknum.exe and just ruin.
You can download, if you go on LimeWire right now, you can download our single Honey and get a Trojan horse and some Russian malware.
That's two for one. That's two for one.
That's the bundle I was talking about.
But before you completely ruin your computer, hit subscribe first, because we've got all sorts of interviews with all sorts of creative folk. And yeah, catch you next time. Good luck with internet security.